Another late night comedy show. Mike Perkins and Paul Proto. We're the house band with all the show. Tonight. Another late night podcast tonight.
With Mike Perkins.
All right, we're recording.
Look at that.
Hell yeah.
We did it.
We did it.
Power of the internet.
Um,
I'll never see the three of you in person ever again because of this.
This is so crazy.
just
You
so
have
comfy.
simplified my life, and now I will never see any of you ever again.
You're like, if you think I'm driving to LA to talk to you
You're out of
guys,
your fucking mind.
you're crazy.
Never again.
You're like, I'm buying a more expensive microphone tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
done deal.
Well, you sound great. And if you listeners didn't know right now, we are recording on Zoom right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay.
Welcome back to the podcast. We're doing this. We are all in our homes, socially distanced away from each other, but we're still here together. Yeah, we're going to record an episode right now on Zoom. So this is the podcast, baby. Thanks for tuning in.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Love it.
get it. My mom's walking in right now. This is not awkward at all.
We should.
Mom, turn off the light. It's a nozzle, Mom. You just turn the knob. Mom, stop talking. You're on camera.
Perfect segue for our next guest is Adam's
One of them.
mom is our next guest on the podcast.
Two of them.
I guess it's fair to mention one of the reasons we are doing it this way is because I was hanging out with my father-in-law last week, and then over the weekend he tested positive for corona. So I am on the mandatory quarantine away from the boys.
Yes, but you're feeling good, right? How's everything?
I'm just fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I hope nothing happens, but I'm gonna wait a little bit and then go get tested, see what to do from there.
Yeah, and he's fine too. You said too. I know we were talking the other day, but he said
last I talked to him, he had just tested positive, but he wasn't like symptomatic. But if that changes like a week from now, we'll chat about it next month.
yeah.
It would be interesting to talk to someone that like really went like heavy into it.
Yeah, like in the dirt.
Yeah, that was like I thought I was gonna die kind of thing.
Oof.
Yeah. It's weird now because now it's been 9 months since we got into, the pandemic era of our lives. And it's starting to kind of hit home, I guess, in a way where like we're starting to know more people that got it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
Like Paul was the first one we knew that had it back in January before it was even a thing.
Mhm.
Well, end of February, but
End of February, yeah.
Well, it's just like, of course.
Yeah.
that would be me.
It
That
would
is
be
my
me.
Like, why do I suddenly feel like I'm about to die? Oh, there's a pandemic going to happen.
And I got
Yeah.
it first.
First out the gate, baby. First out
Yes,
the gate.
see, you're not following the trends. You're setting them, Paul.
I'm a trailblazer.
Yeah,
That's-
even when it comes to diseases.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I'll get sick enough to where I have a disease named after me.
So
Oh,
check
man,
it. I had this really interesting conversation the other day, and I was curious to ask you guys about this. So I teach like junior high and high school kids, and teaching them right now online is very interesting. I also teach them, and I've never met them. So I'm new at this school I teach at, and so I've never met them in person. And I specifically teach this one class that's 7th and 8th graders. And I asked them the other day this question, and one kid said something that was really fascinating, and I'll never forget it. The rest of my life, I'll never forget this. And because it was coming from a 7th grader. And so then I was like, I want to ask the guys this question. So what I was telling them was they're asking me during this time as an adult and as like a teacher they look up to for advice and guidance, right, in this weird moment in time. they really like my class. So during my hour and a half that I have with them twice a week, like, it really does feel like a lot of them talk about how they don't really think about the crap that's going on.
Mhm.
And they ask my advice, or they're looking to guidance for us as adults. And at the end of the day, we don't, like, as if we've done this before.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. As if, and I said this to them, I was like, you act like you guys, not that this is a mean thing, but you're younger. So you're going to look to the adults, you're going to look to the parents, you're going to look to the teachers and go, what do we do? But the reality is that we don't know. I don't have a clue. I don't have an idea of what the hell to tell you, but I feel this obligation to tell you something. And I feel an obligation to say something to you. So, I asked them, I said, what would you say? Because at some point you will be, Sean and I can attest to this. And I gave them the example of September 11th. September 11th happened when Sean and I had only been in school for 2 days. We had just moved to LA. We've been in LA for a couple days. We'd been in school for 2 days. It was our second day, and September 11th happened. I thought our school was going to blow up that morning. Like, that's how crazy that moment was, right? And it was a very weird, chaotic time. But all the kids I teach, none of them were even alive. So I can only tell them my experience now, looking back on that, right? So I said to them, what would you say to a younger person, a younger kid that was looking to you now going, give me some advice? What would you say to a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old right now? Maybe some of you have a kid or a brother or something. And this kid said, I went around the room and all of them asked this, and I said this, and they all said something, and some of them said very depressing answers and stuff. and then one kid,
way to bring the tone down, Brandon. All right.
Yeah, right. One of them was just like straight up like, I don't think I'd be able to say anything good, right? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this kid said this thing. He said, I would tell them that if I really thought about who I was a year ago and who I am now a year ago from today, the things and how much and how different I am, and the things that I think about, and the things that I took for granted, and the things that now I'm smarter at, and the things that I know in life that I never would have learned. I'm a very different person. And I was like, my mind was blown from the 7th grader telling me this.
Yeah,
and I was like,
who are you teaching? Who are you teaching? Will Hunting? What
I know. I was like, dude, that's an amazing answer. And it made me think, because I thought the same thing. I was like, there's a huge part of me that's way better. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what is that? What is that? What is that? So I wanted to ask you guys, what do you feel like you're better at? Or do you feel better as a person? Yes, we can all admit that there's moments and things that suck. But what do you feel like has been so good for you during this time?
I mean, whatever Brandon said, I ditto it.
Yeah, right.
I think
it's a weird question. It's a big question, but it's also like true. There is some things you're probably better at. Like, you're probably better at like patience.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think I'm better at showing love, and I think loving, like telling people how much I care about them and stuff too. I think I'm better at that. I'm better at keeping in touch and connecting with people better, I think, now, you know?
Yeah.
Which
is interesting because of like how disconnected we are.
Yeah. And I know we talked about that before. It's like, we're always kind of, especially out here in LA, it's like, you're kind of just like constantly just working, and like, I mean, time flies by and you're just like always on the go. And then you never have a chance to yourself. And all we've had is chances to ourselves now. And you think like, I don't know, man. Like I find myself like texting people or DMing people and just being like, hey, how you been, man? How's everything? Just checking in on you. And
you would have never before.
I would have seen them at a club or something, comedy club, and been like, dude, I haven't seen you in 8 months. How you been? All right. Instead of being like on a deep level, like, like I got, when you told me, Sean, I got kind of worried, and that's why I text you, Sean. I was like, how you feeling, man? Because I wanted to, I just wanted to make sure you're okay, and I feel like that. I feel like I'm better at doing that now. And
like a level of compassion and empathy.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And how great is that? Like, that's what was still blowing my mind about what this kid said. I was like, dude, you're so right. There's so many things that we are better at as people now that I have to look at it from that standpoint and go, we wouldn't have had this opportunity to get better. Now, are there plenty of things that we're worse at, and there's tons of things that are bad, but on a personal level, to be able to spend this much time resetting is kind of it's unbelievable. And so being able to tell that to a younger person, I think, will be something that is really, a pretty valuable advice.
Yeah.
What about you, Sean?
I've been an absolute fucking trash bag, so I'm
Really?
not sure if I've gotten better at anything at all. I've been a complete piece of shit for like 8 months.
No, that's not true. You grew a mustache like a motherfucker.
That's an excellent question though, because like I went up and down so much during because everything we do is performance related. So like, as far as like my day to day changed so much.
Yeah.
We had many topics or discussions over the phone about essentially the meaning of anything that we do, and like how superfluous entertainment is if society falls.
Yeah.
Like, what a
My
useless skill if society isn't there.
You're just the campfire singer. The campfire singer.
Right?
You guys got to throw a Kumbaya song into your act.
Yeah. It's interesting. That's fascinating, right? I started the other day. I was telling. I don't know. I miss singing so much. Like, it's hard. I actually was telling someone about it the other day. And I was talking to a class, and they were asking me what I missed the most, and I told them, I started crying. I'm such a fucking girl, but I started crying. I miss singing so badly in front of people. Like, it's crazy. I haven't missed anything as much as that in my whole life.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy how much I have missed that. I think especially because, when you feel like you're doing really good at something, like Sean and I had been talking about this for like the last year. I was like, dude, we're on a fucking roll. Like, we have been like killing every show. Like, even in the shows that are awkward, like, we figure out a way to dig ourselves out of it. And like, we felt like the band was really tight, and all the music was really clicking, and like we knew what was happening. We knew how to adjust really well. Like, we had put in that grind, and then like,
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
That part's weird. That part's tough. What about you, Paul?
Yeah, Paul.
I think I've learned to appreciate moving forward more than anything. There was time in my life when I was much bigger and stuff like that I lived my life largely through the internet. I had a very solitary thing because, to be fair, I was embarrassed of myself, and it was like that's what it was. Like, it was easy to be online, easy to message someone, easy to do something. And then when my life changed, it was a very gradual thing until I was just out doing everything. Like, a day in was unheard of for me. And now it's like I was moving forward so much, and now everything just kind of stopped, where it was like, oh, I have to be inside. I kind of had to go back to the way things were, where it's almost digital only, messaging people. And I really appreciate the hustle, being able to do stuff. And I'm excited to do that again. So it almost like reignited my passion for that, I guess.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then there was a trash bag named Sean.
I'm coming out of the trash bag phase, I feel like.
As he sits in a fucking tiger suit. Sits.
We have to post a video now because you're in the tiger outfit.
Yeah, people don't know, I'm in a ankle-length tiger robe.
It's incredible. It's like Tony the Tiger costume. It's fucking amazing. It's like a mascot. It's so funny.
So good.
Like a mascot without the head. It's so put in your own face.
No, it's got a hood.
Oh wow.
When you asked that question, I wanted Sean to be like, "It's great."
Hey, you learned a little bit about Green Thumb. You learned a little bit about.
I did. I became a gardener. We have some hobbies we took, and then like, I got back into like, probably in the last month, back into like kind of my regular things I would do when I would wake up in the morning. Whereas I'll like play guitar and have a coffee and those sort of things that I like to do and like write things. Because in the middle of the COVID in like June, July, it was like, why do I do that? Like,
For sure.
like you play guitar or something, you start doing a thing that you used to do every day. Like Paul, you were saying you'd go out every day pursuing things or have like a gig or something to go do. And then when that all goes away, all the ancillary stuff you do in preparation for that day, all is like, you're like, well, I guess I'll open some soup today. Like everything else is canceled. So, but it's not, I feel like even though the world has not opened up and we're clearly, it's like we're recording this in November right now and all the numbers are going up with wintertime coming. But, hopefully in the new year, it's time to grab it by the horns again and, be a good person.
That was the hardest thing too, man. I felt the way, like, I felt I was grabbing everything by the horns in the beginning and then it just all goes away. And you're like, fuck, I had such a momentum going, dude. Like, I talk about this all the time with every comic that I talk to. I'm like, I was about to showcase at the goddamn Improv on like March 23rd and everything closed down. Like I was about to showcase in front of the booker and everything closed down. You know what I mean? It's just like, it just like slaps March you in the 12th. Ass. Yeah. It's like, fuck, dude. And it's like, but I don't know. I think one cool thing is we still do the live show. We still do the, so we get to all connect and hang out every month.
The podcast has been pretty cool too.
And the podcast.
I think we look forward to it, the live thing a lot more. It's weird because I moved away during this time. It certainly has given me a lot of, but it's not just moving away. It's the actual like, it's the day-to-day routine. And because there's a little chunky nugget running around here, it's
by that you mean a child?
Yeah, right. Can you imagine if I was like, my wife is running around here? Can you imagine?
Like, chunky nugget.
This chunky nugget.
You're gonna get a divorce paper by the end of this podcast.
Can you imagine? I was like, there's a chunky nugget and my child.
Chunky nugget.
And my child.
No, but because the little one runs around here so much, like you normally before this would have happened, we would have had her in something, and there would have been some semblance of help and people and a community that could help and assist, and that's not as obviously as accessible. Yes, we got her into different things, but because of that, it's just allowed us to have this element of day to day where we get up. I get up at like 6 a.m. That's ridiculous. But I'm up at 6 a.m. like every morning.
You are a dad. You are definitely a dad.
Totally. And I mean, I did like yard work and I put Christmas lights up today, and I was like alone all day doing that. That's so not who I was before this, right?
Yeah.
And to be honest, had I not moved, that wouldn't have happened either, because it just like was a small little apartment. We got a house. That kind of stuff fills up the day. It fills up the day with stuff to do, because otherwise I wouldn't have anything to do. I would be sitting around. I'm lucky to teach when I teach and those types of things, but I think that the greatest thing for me, for sure, what I've learned to do is I've learned to be a better dad, and that's a good thing.
That's amazing. Yeah,
that is cool.
It really is a good thing. It's a good thing, and it's a thing that I wouldn't have learned all the skill sets. I turned the oven on twice yesterday, bro. I think I've turned an oven on 5 times in my whole life.
And you did it twice yesterday?
I used it twice yesterday. Who the fuck am I? Like, that's crazy, bro.
You haven't gone full dad until I start hearing about your Instant Pot stories.
We used an Instant Pot yesterday, actually. Like,
Instant Pots are a fucking miracle, man. We should get them to sponsor this show.
Instant Pot. I mean, I'm a toaster oven kind of guy. I always use toaster ovens.
I got a toaster oven as well. I barely use I don't think I ever use my microwave.
I don't even have a microwave.
Good
I just do
on ya.
toaster oven. Yeah. Just do toaster oven, everything. Now, Adam, be honest with me. When you were putting the lights up and doing all the yard work, were you dressed up in like the band attire? Like you had like your like the suit jacket and stuff on?
Right? Can you imagine? No, I was in straight. I was in like because we live like kind of in a rural part of the area.
Did you go buy a pair of like white New Balances yet?
Right. No. So I have this ugly pair of like just these gross hiking shoes that Amanda, every time I put on, Amanda goes, ew. She's like, this is so not you. And I have a specific pair of jeans that I put on, and they're very ugly. And
the work jeans.
They're just work jeans and an ugly shirt. And she's just like, ew, you really just embrace this, don't you? I was like, well, it's like so gross out here, and I got to just take it. This is the most convenient. I mean, I'm embracing it. I called Sean today, and I was like telling Sean, I called him. I was like, I'm going to Walmart, going to get some more Christmas lights, baby. Like, that's what I was doing.
And you were dressed the way you were dressed on the way to Walmart.
It's like, who are you?
Because I had priced out other places, right? Like, that's like the thing. Yeah. These are things I never would have done. Yeah, I just would have never done this shit. And, having fun with it. I don't know that it's all the way in on me. Like, I have a man cave that is really my brain threw up all over the place. And that's I think one of the saving graces of this whole thing, like, is that like I finally have like a little bit of my own space where I can like just put my weird shit up everywhere.
And you can be creative in there too, you know what I mean? And do
exactly
you got to do.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I got tested a bunch the other day, or last week. I got tested like 8 times in 7 days. I got tested.
Was it like in the nose?
In the nose. In the nose.
The nose, yeah.
Yeah, in the nose.
In the nose.
The two times in the same day, twice back to back, where I was like, I would get tested, and then like 5 minutes later, they'd be like, you don't have it, but we have to test you again. And then they would test me again and do the nose again. And then the next day do the same thing. Every time I was like, I have it. I was sure I had it. It was like.
That's the anxiety of it too, dude. The anxiety of like knowing the test,
For sure. Like, I would like stub my toe. If I like stub my toe, I'd be like, I have it. Like I thought.
You caught it.
I thought I got it.
Caught it in the toe.
Caught it in the toe.
Got that corona of the foot.
I gotta say, the one good thing about having it is like, I know if I have it again.
You know what's up.
Oh, I'll be like, uh-oh.
The storm is coming.
Yeah. It is every little bit. Every little thing makes me just a little like, if I just cough, I'm like, uh-oh.
I know, dude. I have allergies too. So like when I get like mucusy and stuff, I'm like, is this it? But like, I've been getting tested every week also. So I kind of know like, okay, I feel fine. It's probably just waking up and like, plus the cold weather, you wake up with chills and stuff, so you're like.
Your work's still open, right? Because it's still happening.
Oh, we're never closing, baby.
Ever.
We're never closing.
Casinos are somehow so essential.
Yeah, no way. We're not closing. Not
and still very popular.
Yep. Still, I mean, now we're about to go into lockdown LA. It means that the other ones are closing, and we are going to be packed to the brim, baby.
Slam and jamming.
Think about that.
Slam and jamming, baby. Restaurants and bars are closed, but guess what? You can drink in a casino. So
wow.
They should start like doing bets on the COVID testing. Do the own COVID testing there. Be like, how much you want? 50 down? Do you have it or no?
Yeah. That's funny.
You know that guy Paul was hanging out with a bunch of people the other day. I'm putting 2-1 odds on Brodo.
Yeah.
You know that classic like meme picture that people send of that big giant black guy with the big dick?
Yeah,
sitting on the couch that everybody tries to send people.
Yeah.
My friend sent me a message today that was like, LA's stopping selling alcohol entirely until this thing gets better. And I was like it's like California's going to stop selling alcohol entirely. And I was like, I'm going to move. What are you talking about? And then I clicked on the link, and it was just that fucking guy.
That's amazing.
My wife's like, you should send that to your mom because your mom will just send that shit to people thinking that she's just spreading good news.
Oh my
no
gosh.
idea.
Tell me you did.
Julie, have you
No, my
seen
mom-
this? They're not putting alcohol anywhere. Click it.
So
Oh, that's
funny.
incredible.
That's so funny.
Well, listen, we're releasing this on it's going to be on like the day after Thanksgiving. So we're getting released on Black Friday, ladies and gentlemen. So I just want to go around real quick. I think we already touched on it. But from what like Adam was saying, what we're, I guess what I'm saying is like, what are we
What we're
thankful
grateful
for?
What
Yeah,
we're
what
thankful
are we
Yeah,
for.
what are we
thankful
grateful for?
for?
What are we thankful for? Kind of the same thing we just talked about, but like, that was a question of like, what do you think you're better at? What are you thankful for now this year?
Mhm.
Yeah, I definitely have a different answer than trash bags. I am thankful for trash bags. They're really handy.
Hefty.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really thankful for friends and family throughout this. Like I've learned it's interesting too because you fall out of touch with some people and then you get way more in touch with other people.
Yeah.
At least has been my experience. And I'm thankful for I'm thankful that we have like Zoom and Skype and FaceTime in regards for all of this because like this is so just like it was not because of Corona, but my grandmother passed away last week. She was 95, so it's fine.
Sorry, man. Yeah.
But it's all good. Like, and because of Zoom, though, my cousin who works in healthcare FaceTimed me while she was in hospice, and we got to have a chat and say goodbye. And that sort of thing wasn't possible just a couple of years ago. So
Right.
I'm kind of
right.
thankful
Yeah.
that we have some technology to kind of cope with what's going on right now. And so friends, family, and these sweet Zooms.
Yeah. Man.
What am I thankful for? I'm thankful to have been able to work during this time, truly, genuinely, and I've been able to be creatively working, which is great. And then it's funny. The first thing I thought about was like the other day I had this. My friend had this that he gave me this big giant thing of Jelly Bellies, like the big one, like a huge
Yeah.
one. And I realized that if you want to not speak to me for a while, I just give me one of those, and I'll good. So he gave me that, and I was like, oh, I'll be over here for the next 3 days eating these. So
Yeah.
I like those, and I'm thankful for that experience.
You heard
It's a
it,
silly
guys.
answer, but it's true.
Get Adam
You
some
give me
Jelly
Jelly
Bellies for
Belly.
Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
gonna
out.
poop a straight loaf of Jelly Belly.
Yeah.
It's going to be beautiful.
It's gonna be beautiful. Buttered popcorn.
Shit pellets.
It's like dropping a rubber
Paul
mallet.
Brodo.
What about you, Paul Brodo?
I guess I'm thankful for my life.
Mm-hmm.
In the last 2 years, this year I had COVID. Last year I almost died of sepsis, and I'm still here. And even though things get rocky, things are uncertain at times, I am still here, and I have wonderful friends and family, and it could be a lot worse. I could be dead, and very happy I'm not.
Yeah. I could be dead.
We're all glad you're not too.
I'm glad
I'm glad you're not dead too, man.
because
I think Paul's morbid outlook on life is
so
one of the funniest things I've ever heard of in my life.
well, it's because the first time when I had sepsis, I was like, oh no, this is it. Like I messaged my friends. I was like,
What is it, by the way? What is
imagine a blood infection that spreads.
Well, I don't.
through your
What
body.
did it feel like? What is it?
It felt like I was unconscious, and
Really?
I just kind of had brief moments as it was like working through me. I had these like antibiotics, and it was just.
Do you catch it? Is it a virus?
No. So from working out, I have like calluses on my feet,
Okay.
and like from running and stuff. And I had gone out and somehow I tore the skin beneath one of my calluses. And when the callus started to come off, and so there was like a little pinhole in there to that cut that after several months had never healed. So I didn't really think anything of it. And because it couldn't close, the bacteria getting in, it just fucked me up. I have pictures of my foot. I have red lines going all up my leg. There's just a whole thing of pus. I was out.
I'm in. I want to see it.
We'll post that later.
I'll have to send that one.
It's on your Tinder profile, I think, too.
And that's a good one to lead with on Tinder.
That's the first one. Swipe right.
Yeah. I mean, if you're into feet, you're going to be into the picture. And if you're into pussy, gross holes.
Yo, no joking aside, what's it called? Wiki feet or something? Like you can post like.
Yeah, you can kill
What's the thing where you could probably get paid some money for that foot pic of like all fucked up.
I think there's like an onlyfeet.com.
Yes,
Only
like
feet.
It's like OnlyFans, but like from the ankle down, baby.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for the picture Paul just sent me of his foot during the podcast. I think I'm thankful for my friends and family too, man. I think it's been a big like me, Paul, and our buddy Mike from back home. Like that was a big that kind of made my day during like lockdown. In the beginning was like we would just play PlayStation together, but it was a hangout of us just like shooting the shit and talk. It was just kind of like just helping you clear your mind and stuff, man, and being like connected with your friends, and I think the same as Sean said, dude, I feel like we've all gotten closer during this. Like, we've always been really good friends, but I think over like, the past year or so doing the live show and stuff, and even during this, like, I think we've become really like best friends, and just like closer and getting to know you guys a lot better. And, and as Sean said too, like you lose some connections, but the connections that stayed are the ones that are stronger now, like I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for people keeping in touch with me. And then also like thankful for the opportunities that I even got during all of this. Like I did a lot of like just random, like I did some like JFK benefit or something like for some like thing like back in like July or so. It's just like just random people hit me up, and it's just like not random. Like I knew them from the comedy scene, but like, and like being able to like feature and do like a live show too back in Utah, like in August and stuff.
Right.
Val Duro, thank you for that. Yeah, I'm thankful for that, man. I'm thankful that my mom and dad are like, still like, just doing good and stuff, and like family, like stuff, like I'm thankful for all that. And I'm hoping like everyone can get like, through this stuff is what I'm thankful for,
Are you doing Thanksgiving alone in your apartment?
I am, yeah. So
yeah,
I'm not hanging out with anyone.
I'll tell you honestly, because we talk about your love life from time to time on the podcast. I know we're going to probably end this one soon here, but
yeah,
my wife said this the other day, and I was like, I can't wait to tell Mike this. She goes, how is Mike Perkins not with somebody? And I said, I don't know. I think he's a psycho.
Guys,
he must be a psycho.
Subscribe and listen. That's the podcast.
She goes, he's so great. She goes, and he's so cute. And I was like, I know, you're preaching the choir. I think he's a psycho. I was like,
there's got to be something really damaged in there.
He's got to be psycho.
Don't look in my freezer. Hold on.
Like, where did you put the baking soda?
Well, I don't want to talk another 10 minutes on this topic, but when we did talk a couple episodes ago about the ex-girlfriend that got away, I did message her after that.
You did?
No.
And we've been talking, and I think it's going good, but also I'm not sure. I don't think she's listening to this, but she's not taking COVID seriously.
Okay.
So like we keep like
Paul looks like he's gonna jump through the screen and slap you across the face.
He already knows.
I know about
his life.
He already knows.
So hold on. We can extend this episode, right? We can extend.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, coming back to Mike.
Well,
but it's going good. It's okay. It's okay.
It's going good. It's going good, and it's more of that thing as like, I guess it's kind of a thing where like I see that girl loves me a lot, and I kind of, me a year ago would have been like, I'm fucking doing shows, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
now
yeah.
I think I need to like cherish the people that love me, you know,
Mm.
Right.
and try to work harder at those relationships, and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. And if you're a girl listening to this, maybe we'll get together soon too. Hey, what? But
Apparently, my wife as well, because my wife thinks you're adorable.
Yeah.
And my wife thinks you're very cute, and she doesn't understand why you're single.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think the thing is like, COVID, it's tough. We already talked about that, but we could talk about that next episode too, if you want.
We're gonna do
Talk about our exes.
Let's talk about our exes next.
Do the exes
time.
next episode?
Yes.
Next episode?
Please.
Okay. All right, guys, this is this episode right now. It is Thanksgiving, so have a wonderful, we hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. It's Black Friday. Make sure you get some, good stuff, but don't go to the Black Friday crowds, don't do that.
I hope
make
there's
sure
no crowds right now.
I don't know if
there will be, Sean.
There will be.
Online.
There's
if you're getting a 60-inch TV for $150, there's going to be a crowd,
Yeah.
But hey, cherish your loved ones and love each other. Be safe out there. And thanks for listening and giving us 5 stars and stuff and all that good stuff. We're on all the podcast networks that you can search for, because you're obviously listening to it right now if you know that we're on here.
Yeah.
But as always, the best house band in all the land, it's The Show with Adam and Sean. Give it up.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you
and
so
my
much.
partner in crime, Mr. Paul Brodo.
Hey guys, thanks. Thanks for listening to me. I got some shit to say every week.
Oh God!
And my name is Big Mike Perkins. This has been another podcast tonight. We'll see you guys next week. Stay safe out there. We love you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Woo.
Another late night